Good morning students. In this video we discuss about another interspecific interaction, that is parasitism. So what is parasitism? It is a relationship between living organisms of different species in which one organism is called parasite, and this parasite obtain food from from another living organism which is called host. Means it is the relationship, it is an interaction between two members of different species in which one is beneficial and one is harmful. And usually the parasites are smaller. Parasites are smaller than their host. And the part of parasite or entire parasite spend on or inside the body of host. And the parasites are categorized into various groups. The first group is ecto and endoparasites. Ecto and endoparasites. Ectoparasites usually they live on surface of the host. Ectoparasites are usually they live on surface of host, and while endoparasites they are present inside the body of host. If parasites live on surface of host organism, they are called ectoparasites, and best examples are sucking lice in case of humans, and aphids in case of plants. And if parasites present inside the body of host organisms, then they are called endoparasites. Endoparasites, for best example, malarial parasite. So malarial parasite usually that is present inside the human body. And second category is temporary and permanent parasites. And in some cases the parasites they can contact with host organisms for temporarily or a particular time period during their lifespan. And permanent parasites usually they contact with host organism throughout their body. Temporary parasites for a part of time period. For a part of time period it is contact with host organism. And permanent parasites usually they contact with their host throughout the life. But for temporary parasites, the best example is Ascaris. And permanent parasites, the permanent parasites are, for temporary parasite it is Entamoeba, and for permanent parasites it is Ascaris. Next category is holo and hemiparasites. Holoparasites completely depends on their host. Means they are complete parasites. For examples, Cuscuta and Rafflesia. These two plants they are completely depends on their host organism. Such type of parasites are called holoparasites or complete parasites. Hemiparasites incomplete depends on their host. So for example, for part of food they depends on their host, and remaining they manufactured by own. For example, Viscum and Loranthus, these two plants are called hemiparasites or incomplete parasites. The next category is root and stem parasites. Some parasites depends on only roots, and some parasites depends on only stems. The parasites which depends on roots they are called root parasites, and parasites which depends on stems they are called stem parasites. For example, Cuscuta, Loranthus and Viscum. These three are root parasites, and Rafflesia is stem parasite. Next, non-pathogenic and pathogenic parasites. Non-pathogenic and pathogenic parasites. Non-pathogenic parasites means some parasites are not harmful to their host organism. For example, Ant-amoeba. Ant-amoeba, it do not cause harmness to their host. And some parasites, they cause harmful to their host organisms. For example, Vibrio gum. And some parasites are categorized into hyperparasites. Hyperparasites means, in such cases, one parasite depends on another parasite. If one parasite depends on another parasite, then these type of parasites are called hyperparasites. Example, bacteriophage. So bacteriophage is a virus, and this virus usually depends on bacteria. Virus and bacteria both are parasites. So in such cases, one parasite depends on another parasite. Such type of parasitism is called hyperparasitism. And one more interesting and most important example for parasitism, that is brood parasitism. Brood parasitism is one of the most fascinating example for parasitism. So in this parasitism, the parasitic bird lays its eggs in the nest of another bird. In the course of evolution, the eggs of parasitic bird, they change their color and size to the eggs of host bird. That's why host bird is unable to detect the eggs of parasitic bird. And finally, the host organism eject them, and they separated from their nest. If you observe the relationship between cuckoo and crow, and this is the best example for brood parasitism. And in parasitism, parasitic organisms are usually partially or completely depends on their host. Further, they have to evolve some of the adaptations. And what are the important adaptations present in parasites? In parasites, usually anaerobic respiration is present. Anaerobic respiration performed if parasite is internal parasite. Anaerobic respiration present in internal parasites. If parasite present inside the body, that in such conditions they does not get enough oxygen. That's why they are converted into anaerobes. So anaerobic respiration. And next, loss of certain organs. This is one of the adaptation in parasites. Next, presence of adhesive organs. So adhesive organs usually they are attached to the body of host organism. And excessive multiplication. Next, presence of resistant cyst, and this cyst is usually useful to carry their new offsprings to the new host organisms. And next, so these are some of the adaptations present in parasitic organisms. This is one of the important interspecific interaction. And next interspecific interaction is amensalism. Next one is amensalism. So what is amensalism? It is an interaction between two members of different species in which one is neutral and another one is harmful. It is an interaction between two members of different species, species A and species B, in which one species is neutral, neither harm or not beneficial, and second one is harmful. For example, a few examples for amensalism is Penicillium notatum. It is a fungi, and the first antibiotic penicillin was extracted from Penicillium, and it do not allow the growth of Staphylococcus bacterium. So penicillin, for penicillin it is neutral, and for Staphylococcus it is harmful. And one more best example is, that is smoother crops, and the crops like sorghum, sunflower, etc., they are called smoother crops, and smoother crops do not allow to grow weed plants. So for smoother crops it is neutral effect, and for which it is harmful effect. And this type of interaction between members of two different species is known as amensalism. In amensalism, one species inhibit the growth of another species or restrict the growth of another species by chemicals, and these chemicals are also known as allochemicals, and this process is called, means the restriction of or inhibition of growth of another species by allochemicals is also called allelopathy. Allelopathy means the restriction of growth of one species by other species by secretion of allochemicals. So this is the very another important type of interspecific interaction.